The mics are set. I'm going to give you the one with the clip. You'll probably get picked up by both.
Yeah.
That'll be an
I don't know how to talk loud enough for the camera, so I don't have to turn it up.
Yeah, I might point mine at you more.
I actually have to turn mine down a lot of the time. It's pretty funny.
that is pretty funny.
I'm always just yelling.
So I'm gonna set up.
That's just like my natural voice, isn't it?
The YouTube.
I get a little louder for the camera, but yelling.
Yelling. You know what's awesome is YouTube kind of gets some extra content. You guys get to see kind of like part of our setup and our teardown. So exclusive for joiners. Gotta make sure this is down.
I mean, it ain't joiner no more. It's too valuable, I would honestly say. More people need to see or hear it, so they know that they're okay to be themselves and such, because that's what we're doing.
I guess. All right. We're gonna pull up the UK championships while we vibe. And I'm hitting start. Ready, guys? Here we go. The mic's on.
Yeah, no.
Oh, okay.
Are you ready? He's like, I'm not done with my page yet.
No.
All right, guys. Hello. This is the Tacoma Parkour Collective Podcast. God, what a mouthful. And we have a special guest today. We are joined. I'm Tyler.
I'm Jared.
I'm Grissom.
Yeah, so what's up, Grissom? How long have you been training parkour for?
Actually training like 2 years, and then just, messing around with it since like I was 11 or something like that.
Wow.
So about 10 years probably.
Okay.
So was it me then?
You're the one that made me like actively kind of train it, because you were like, hey, let's go out and do it, because I really never had friends to go out and do it with. Like the only times I ever did it was like school and things like that, where like there was one or two people that like, this is interesting.
But they lied. They didn't think it was interesting.
Not as much as this crew does.
But they're gonna when they see us with our name not in lights, but on YouTube somewhere.
That's a light.
Close
Phones are
enough.
lights.
The YouTube
I mean,
lights.
most people use dark mode, but yeah, I guess you're right.
Big dark mode fan over here.
Yeah, dark mode. Just, I don't know. I never realized it, and then turned stuff to dark mode. I was like, oh yeah, this is way better.
Helps
Jeez.
the retinas.
The retinas.
So, another big event happened this weekend. I myself didn't get to go, but Jared, how was that? What happened?
First off, Caleb competed in skill, speed, and style.
Wait, let's back up. What's the event?
I thought you said that, lol. The USPK Northwest Regional Qualifiers, round 1 at least. Round 2 is in Idaho, which qualified for that. I don't want to go too deep because we're just going to have him on podcast to talk about that himself at some point. But yeah, he qualified for speed and style. That's pretty much it. Dynasty Fitness, it's a good gym. We should find our way up there more often if we can. I just wish it wasn't in Preston, because is there even a bus that goes to Preston?
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
that's good. That's good.
It's just a little ridiculous. There is quite a bit of a walk after you get out there.
Yeah, but Scotty said I might be able to. We might be able to like stay at his place or something if we needed to. He lives in. He's one of the head coaches at Dynasty Fitness. He also lives in Seattle somewhere.
Yeah, I see him in the Discord, and I've talked to him on Instagram about meeting up to train sometime. Cool kid.
Scoop Henderson. That's not his real name, by the way.
Hmm.
I just like making up nicknames, and he seems like a Hendo kind of guy.
Hendo?
Lean and mean. He's like Joe Hendo.
Oh.
I bet he would kill in speed, but like, oof, he's just not worth it. You got to keep the energy there, because style, you gotta. Caleb didn't do as well as he could have done because he's just tired, because he competed in everything else. But
that would make anybody tired for sure.
Well, I got more questions for Grissom. Like,
let's hear it.
What you have? Do you have any goals that you wanna reach through parkour, or?
Not really. I'm kind of just having fun doing it. That just vibe is pretty much how I'm kind of enjoying it. Is just doing the doing the do pretty much.
Doing the do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just
What's
hanging out.
the funnest part for you so far?
I think it's actively getting something instead of just, sitting there going, I could understand how to do this. I can understand how to do that. Actually doing a vault or something that I haven't been able to get done before or something like that is always fun to actually get done. Is to understand something and be able to do it in a cool way.
You tread that new ground.
Yeah.
What would you say your favorite technique is, Grizz? And it could be like right now.
Your favorite thing to work on, yeah.
Probably gonna change.
Right now it's normally just like vaults and things. Just trying to get. The original reason I started parkour was I liked the parkour, which was just getting from one place to another as fast as you possibly can.
The true essence of parkour.
That's the reason I started doing it.
So it's so steezy with the vaults. Even when he messes up, he steezes out, and it's like, how are you steezing out this right now? I would be on the floor like,
Doing the Peter Griffin.
Well, if I did the vault right, that's one thing. But even when like you could see him slip a hand or something, he turns it into something else. It's impressive, man. I'm telling you that.
Telling you that.
But yeah, that's kind of my thing. Is just I kind of liked the getting from one place to another in the easiest way or fastest way, which is why I pretty much skipped a lot of the beginning things and kind of went intermediate right at the beginning, and then kind of now I'm learning a lot of the really beginner stuff. But like safety vaults and stuff actively were harder for me than speed vaults, just because I kind of did speed vaults before I did safety vaults.
Right.
But doing those safety vaults will improve your speed vaults as well.
I know. I just, like I said, I was just trying to, just having fun doing it.
You're not alone. Many practitioners tend to skip the fundamentals because they see all this cool stuff. Like we're watching a competition in the UK right now on YouTube while we record this podcast, and they are sending some insane things. None of that would even be possible if this guy hadn't spent thousands of hours doing basic jumps and leg strength training and...
Yeah, but it's not just like a deliberate attempt. Some people just don't live close enough to a gym where like there are just certain types of obstacles where you can do that kind of stuff like more easy.
Right.
Tacoma's like all rails and handicap ramps, so and there's like nothing. There's like no undercover spots, and I hate that. Everyone's too used to the rain. They just don't care. And it's like, I'll care a little, like one spot, please. Just one spot so we can go hang out there for 5 minutes and get kicked out. But give us like 5 minutes because it rains just a little bit all the time. And it's like, it's too cold. It's too cold. So it's not drying out. We need the dry.
You can really see it in our training too. Like the way that we approach obstacles becomes different than how you'll see other areas. Like people from different places. It comes out in your training.
Yeah, Caleb's style run, he was just more street. He was just kind of taking bigger drops rather than like certain kinds of transitions. It's pretty nice. He leaned towards the strength because for that you definitely do, because the most stylish stuff you can do is the stuff you do the most. You know what I mean? Generally, because you're more well-rounded with those techniques, so you gotta lean into it. He's got to do more plyos rather than a bunch of extra flips necessarily.
I just watched an insane fail on this video. I love that we could just hang out.
It's the Ed Scott video, Nova City.
Ed Scott's a legend. I've seen some of his videos here in the U.S. too. Like he went to UCLA to train for a little bit.
People used to come up here to go to Freeway Park. They don't do that much anymore.
No,
but
they still do.
Yeah, they just don't record that much, which is sad. Because I would love to see that. Like some outsiders be training. The only outsider I swear I see is that guy on CityLegends. It's like a guy from Iceland and some of his friends. They just visit here sometimes for some reason. If you look at CityLegends, some of the spots are just destroyed by him and his friends. You could tell they're savage gym lads because They're just throwing like 16-foot jumps. They don't give a dang.
They don't give a dang.
No.
Dang a dang. What's something you guys would like to see more of in the parkour community?
Gyms, but that's
more gyms.
That's very true, but not really part of the community. Kind of more of a
it's part of the community. But is there anything else like with the current community, how it already is, like our local community that we could do right now to make it better for you or for anyone really?
Just, I guess, I think we all just need to end up with the ability to do things without needing to have the whole collective together. Or having specifically our cameraman Gerald around, because even the clip that I filmed not a few days ago with me climbing, it was a very interesting realization afterwards that I'm not super used to not having someone film, because I was like off camera for a bit, and I'm just like, I'm not used to my camera angle very much because of how straightforward the camera is. So it's a lot more of a used to having a wide or having someone record it. So I'm just trying to, a lot of it's more getting used to all that.
That's why I train the English style, where you kind of more pick challenges. Because for the first 3 years of training, it was mostly by myself, so I had to get used to a static angle. And I'm just used to doing like one bang challenges. That's why I like jumping far. And like doing long lines aren't that, because I got into parkour to make YouTube videos. I like sports and stuff, so it just was easy mesh, and it was the right store video at the right time. Because me and a couple of my friends, we went out the next day, the next day, and we almost got caught up in a protest, and that's how we knew, like, oh damn, this might be it. This might be a thing we should do, and at least I'm here now. Kelsey, he definitely joins in for videos when he's around, but he lives by the south border of Oregon now. That's where his family's from.
Well, Grizz, do you remember your early days of parkour? Like what your first couple sessions were like?
Like I said, playground stuff pretty much. Just hang out on actual, like, large toy sets and things like that. It was just watching a video at home and then going to school the next day going, I wonder if I could do that. And then doing it while I was at school.
There you go. Yes, way to use your time wisely. I didn't get into parkour until I was already a man. I was about 19 when I walked into Parkour Visions myself.
Nice.
And
barely a man. I was 27. Alright, but you said you walked into Parkour Visions when they still had a gym, yeah?
Yeah, when they still had a physical location down in Soto in Seattle, I walked in there and I was trying to sell them sign spinning.
That's how Scoot remembered you at the thing. I described everything but that, and he's like, "Oh, the sign spinner." I'm like, "Yep, that's him."
Yeah.
I tried for you, man. I know you're okay with being known as the sign spinner, but you're more than that.
Thank you.
I try.
Thank you. God, I tried.
Like, well, yeah.
But also, like, that's gonna follow me no matter what at this point. I've gone to the World Championships 7 times now. 8. I'm on 8. I'm going again,
right.
And it's gonna be my 8th time there.
Nice.
I think I can win.
You could, man. I think if you got that one move you're talking about with the backflip and you throw it up kind of thing.
Oh, bro. Backflips are so scary for me.
Yeah.
All
you
flips
could also
are scary.
You could come up with something that's similar.
I have a trick called which way is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. You do a side flip, and the sign itself does a flip and a full spin at the same time. So all that happens at the same time in one fluid motion, and it's insane and really scary to even attempt, honestly.
It sounds pretty crazy. It sounds like that move from Blades of Glory at the end where they could have chopped each other up, but they didn't. If you do it perfect, you don't. You don't. That's why it's an illegal move. It's a banned move. Now we're just talking plots of movies. Oh, I was waiting for this moment where the podcast would go to this, because that's where the personality comes out. But now you were talking about the first time you...
personality?
I'm I'm all... My head's every thumbnail, and that's YouTube picking that. My big ass head. My big head.
My big head.
You were talking about your first time you went to Parkour Visions, and you
Oh, yeah. So I talked to a few people there. I'm not going to name drop them because I'm sick of people name dropping like that, honestly. But I was talking to a few people there, and I really wanted to support Parkour Visions and help them get clients, but they weren't interested in my form of advertising at all. And they actually instead talked me into having a work trade membership for them.
Right.
Which allowed me to study parkour under them. And I would, in turn, clean the gym. I would just, like, sweep the floors and occasionally wipe down the men's bathroom because I wasn't going to go in the women's.
Yeah.
Just not going to happen.
Right.
Yeah, that was pretty far back in the day for me.
I guess since we're doing that, I'll talk about mine. It was one specific store video. I was just bummed out because we just weren't doing anything for July 4th because it was in the middle of the COVID restrictions.
COVID.
And we were just bored. We were tired of playing 2K or something, so we found something else to do, and we were trying to find something else to do, and I watched a specific store video. The one they had to make it private. They were threatened with fines or something. I think they were fined. They walked across like a giant steel cable at a construction site. That's probably the part that was bad. And then they ended up at a school. There's a whole second half of the video I didn't remember at all, but for the longest time I thought it was butterfly affected into a lifestyle. But then someone on Reddit, I was like, oh, does this exist? And they were like, yes, here it does exist. And bing, I got to watch the video.
Bingo, bango.
Bingo, bango. And then we went out the next day, almost got caught up in protests. I ordered a GoPro the day after. Because we were like, oh, dang. This could be a thing. There's stuff going on. And I'm trying to fish it out and jump over it.
I just realized I'm realizing, so I'm a personal trainer. I've worked a lot in different gyms and stuff, and I've seen a lot of physiques, and I'm looking at Ed Scott's physique right now. What I've noticed in the parkour community is a lot of people who practice parkour kind of have a lankier build overall. Like, you do lean out, but like a lot of people don't spend a bunch of time developing muscle because there comes a point in parkour where too much muscle will hold you back from being able to perform in the sport. Excuse me. Ed Scott's freaking ripped.
He's built like a refrigerator. That's from gymnastics. That's why Tim Champion is so built too.
Yeah, for sure. And I just noticed he had extra definition on his shoulders and his like traps from doing tons of pull-ups, and
he also just trains every day.
Yeah, he's short and stocky though. That's another thing is like he's got the builds where like short people have an easier time getting their muscles to show.
Yeah.
And so
there's just less space. That's just biological science.
He's just puffed out basically. Ed Scott, everybody, go check him out.
It's like Verky if he ate food.
Go
Berkey's
eat,
not
Berkey.
Gonna watch this, but go eat, Berkey. We
Hit
need
the
you
buffet.
to eat. That way you don't freaking blow out your ankle like taking like baby drops. Baby drops for you. They're baby drops for you. Not me. I can't take a 12-foot drop like that. He'll Kong double gain or 12-foot drop. And you're just like
Kong double,
and it'll be fine. But then he'll ankle thing like a basic running pre and be out for like 2 months. You're like, dang, come on, man. We need you.
Man, ankle things. You don't even remember them? Like, I'm trying to recall my worst ankle thing. You know, I have a video of me on YouTube, I think, of my worst ankle thing. I tried to do something really stupid. It was definitely against the rules of the gym I was working at.
Against the rules.
It was against the rules.
You're of a gym, that makes sense. But I was like, all right, there's no rules outside.
No, there's no rules outside. But in the gym I was working at, it was against the rules for sure.
Got a rebel over here.
You were... Basically, it was an American Ninja Warrior gym, and at those kinds of gyms, they always have a warped wall. Even a lot of parkour gyms will have a warped wall, but the rule was not to slide down the warped wall, and I had the bright idea to slide down the warped wall backwards. So I got all set up. I was like sitting backwards trying to hype myself up to do this. And then...
Belly down?
No, back down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Head first. Because I'm so smart. Anyway.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. I wouldn't... Okay, go. I don't recommend that at all, ever.
I tried to like lean into it and take the slide. And because it wasn't a wood warped wall. It was padded. Okay? In my mind, this was safe-ish.
Safer than it could have been.
Safer than it should have been, yes. But also, the rule was don't slide down the warped wall. I would start leaning back. My hands, the fear in my body wouldn't allow my hands to let go of the top of the wall. So instead of sliding, I rolled right over the edge. And I bounced on my left foot like 3 times on the way down, and it like bent in real hard, and I sprained my ankle for like 3 weeks.
Jeez.
Yeah. Which is the normal shortest time that you should take to recover from a sprained ankle is about 3 weeks.
So wow, sprained ankles can be worse than certain breaks.
Sometimes, for sure. Any sprains, guys?
Not really training parkour. I think I've almost like cracked my kneecap a couple times, like a couple weeks in. That was a long time ago though. The closest thing I've gotten is a bunch of shinners. Every time I go anywhere near a rail, even if I don't bail, I somehow catch a shin on a rail. That's just who I am, I guess. But that time I hit my rib. But luckily I'm the T-Rex apparently. I got little baby arms. So it didn't hit the ribs that aren't called the floating ribs, because that's a syndrome, apparently. They don't watch MMA. But the ribs where it's 3 on 1 stanchion, my elbow didn't hit those because I have little arms.
Little arms.
Like Grissom's long arms, broken rib probably. But me, nope, I hit nope. You got longer arms. That's why I'm really, really bad at Kongs. I have giant feet mixed with tiny arms. I'm getting there. I do practice them, but
we gotta develop your shoulder
tougher. I need the up here part to be stronger, just right here.
Okay.
Because right here is my whole job. I lift like 60 to 100 pound bags 3 times a week for like it's at least 6 hours a day. Like, it's a lot. I lift a lot of bags. It's not over my head. That you're asking for someone to come slice it or it explode over your head. You don't want that. But I lift, boop, boop, boop. Strong. Not as strong as it could be, the back, but the whoop.
Man, your robot is on point.
The hold it like this muscles are strong.
The hold it like this.
But I don't do this part very often.
This and this.
That's why if I kick up high enough on climb ups, it looks like I'm really good at climb ups, but I really just cheated and like legged it all the way up there. But I'll take it.
Take it.
Getting over the wall, I just want to take it.
I love watching these comps for the simple reason of there's so many people that you'll see like 30 people clear a space for someone, and then someone that's not a part of any of that will just walk in between it all. Because it's just, he's doing this insane line here, and he is having to like do almost a corner jump, and some guy climbs up on the corner jump, and as he jumps the corner, he realizes this guy is there and tries not to throw him off the other side of the jump. It's very entertaining.
At every competition, especially in the speed runs, and it's specific bottlenecks.
Yeah.
At the Dynasty Fitness one, there's one by the corner, everyone just kept getting stuck right
now
there.
that there's more people doing it, you can see everyone's kind of cleared the space out. But it was just, there was enough people doing things still that not everyone had realized what he was doing. Like up at that spot where there was someone just standing there when he did that.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, they both realized they were there. It's like, yes, he's been doing this for like 30 minutes. Yeah, it's entertaining because once the competition starts, everyone's kind of watching. But before that, it really is just everyone's doing something.
I just want to take a second and appreciate. We talk a lot about Storer on this podcast. One of my biggest influences in parkour is actually Team Fairing. And part of the reason is not just their ultra cinematic videos, because they take extra time to make sure all of their clips are like flawless, right? It's their parkour fashion. The clothes that they've developed, to me, fit the vibe of what it means to be a parkour athlete, as an American at least.
Well, for you.
For me.
I don't like the floaty clothes. For once, it feels like English culture got to us late instead of the other way around, because that was the English style like at the beginning of time. Parkour time, not real time.
Yeah.
Well, never mind. The early 2000s, mid 2000s. That was everyone had the baggy sweats on, the baggy everything.
Well, I'm talking like, have you seen their jeans?
They are definitely very progressive with the clothes, and I do like that. Didn't they stop making clothes though? I could have sworn they stopped, unfortunately.
I do think that they stopped and they sold the last of their collection, but it was
It's
like
sad. I like their stuff too.
It was such an iconic time, and it's their designs. It's not just the clothes themselves; it's the designs on the clothes for me. The way that they found a logo and they continued to rework that logo.
Yeah,
that's why we're working on a simplified logo. Me and my inside guy Tez. We're working on it. It's gonna be way simpler. Put it on more things. Blah blah. It'll look nice.
Definitely. You gotta bring your laptop so we can edit our merch, bro.
I forgot this time. I brought a Grizz though. That's what I did bring, at least.
We got another guest on the podcast. That's pretty amazing. Thanks for coming.
No, yeah. I had nothing better to be doing right now, and it's nice to...
And we them boys.
We done boys.
But yeah, I really like Farang's clothing. It's just, it doesn't fit like my body type. I'm a little awkward for the floaty stuff. I almost need it to fit me more like a sleek kind of thing. Not that it's not sleek, but it's a little more floaty. I almost
so you want a tube shirt?
No, the opposite. No. A regular t-shirt with a little bit of length, so my giant in proportion to butt doesn't just pop out, because I don't like to get the back angles of me very often, because it's just all crack.
You sure you don't want to show off that plumber crack?
Yeah, because even when I was skinny, the legs did not change size at all, so it would still just be popping out, and it's just like, I don't want to see that. Maybe somebody does, but I don't, and I have to see it the most. Anyway.
Yeah.
And I don't want to spend the time going in and like photoshopping it either, because that's too much time on something that doesn't... People aren't necessarily paying attention to that, but I am, because I know.
They're not going to pay attention to it till you do. That's kind of the funny part.
That's why I don't pick the back angle. That's what I'm saying.
Nobody's looking for it until now. Now people are going to go look back at our content and be like, let's find Jarrett's crack.
I'll be making a compilation. That would be nice.
A compilation of Jarrett's crack.
A little crackhead montage.
Oh, that'd be funny. That would be funny. It's like the thumbnail is your plumber crack, and then it's just Tacoma crackheads. The whole video.
But it's still me though. That'd be fun if it was still just the compilation of my butt cracks. Or made it seem like it was like bum fights too or something. You see that? The bum fights guy went on Dr. Phil, dressed as Dr. Phil, and Dr. Phil was not happy. So funny. So funny. I will not be disrespected. Be like, I'm doing what you do. Got him. Check that out if you haven't. Make sure you watch Ed Scott as well.
I see.
Ed Scott.
Furky must be hurt because he's at the competition, but he's just standing there with the dang bag, like, oh no, dude.
You know a wild
Stop getting hurt,
athlete
Furky.
everybody needs to check out? Ellis Torhall. If you have not watched, I'm going to pull him up right now as well in the background. If you have not watched Ellis Torhall throw it down, you're missing out in life.
I really like that he's taking his stuff outside more. That there's not much more. He's definitely impressive. But I'm double impressed when you're just sending it like you do on the outside. Because I don't know, it just looks cool. I'm all about that. I like stuff looking good too. The scene can be just as important as the actual sport itself. It's almost part of the sport. The way it developed. It didn't develop in like the 60s, like a few other sports.
Could you imagine if parkour popped off in the 60s?
We would be so much farther ahead. We
Yeah,
would
I
actually
wouldn't.
have gyms for it.
There would be gyms everywhere, kind of
I
like
say-
gymnastics.
I say it wouldn't even be gymnastic style. It would be parkour. It would be like skate park style. Because 60s is when skating started to arrive.
Right.
It would have followed the craze of skating. And
Probably
done
with
that.
less influence from skating, too.
No, less influence from skating, but it would also probably be kind of similar areas where there would be a skater park with a like
With a parkour section.
Let's go to
yeah,
the
or the
skater
other way
park,
around,
man.
depending on which
Let's go
one.
to the skater park.
Skater park.
But yeah, they would be combined pretty well.
That's
I
my
think would be a
favorite.
lot better.
My favorite part about skateboarding that I try to take into my filming is I just like the grit and the commitment to doing stuff in a space where people don't usually do it.
Yeah,
I really like that. Knowing that like I'm one of the people that's done this here and no one even knows they can do that. No one even knows they can do cool stuff. And I've done cool stuff. Do cool stuff. There's cool stuff to do. Do it.
just wish we had spots like that.
See,
There
that's
are.
the thing.
It's just
Is
wet.
you just have to figure out how to use what you have.
I know,
Like-
but like he does have areas that are a lot of more dilapidated and less security and more access to random buildings that look like buildings.
Well, and
It's a
parkour
lot
is,
more bougie out here.
parkour is bigger in Europe than it is here.
Yeah,
Like, there's a bigger community,
I say
a
it's
bigger scene.
yeah, but it's also because there's a lot of older architecture, which means they give the ability to do parkour in more interesting areas.
I would say that it's not that it gives them ability. I would say that it's easier for them to, like, mentally put together what to do. Right?
Yeah.
Because the point of parkour is adapting to your current environment and
Oh,
moving
yeah.
through that environment.
Well, yeah, moving through the environment, but when moving through our environment's pretty boring. It doesn't interest. It's not really that interesting. That's kind of that thing, is they have environments that have
They're more
interest to them.
They're
More
spoiled
interesting
with these
architecture,
parts.
yeah.
Yeah.
They got
Spots.
the brutalist architecture that held up actually, so they don't have to rebuild everything all
Yeah.
the time. Well, I want to get back to the dang clothes talk because I just thought about it, and what clothes brand I definitely missed that was in parkour that was also progressing a little bit at the end is the Modus Project. They can't get enough love. How they lost it is beyond me. And I'll say sorry to Giles again for being a dingus that one time on Instagram. I won't get into that, but I'm sorry. You're actually like my hero, low-key. Ugh. Man, I have the button up from Soul Destroyer. Do you remember that? They had like a button up. Of course, I talk about Soul Destroyer right at a spot where they did the handoff clip in Soul Destroyer. Of course. Speak of the devil. That's my anime quirk. If I say something related to it happens. It's just how it is. Like Ellis Torhall's gonna rip. Boom. Nostradamus. Do you have any Modus clothes, Tyler?
The only parkour clothes I've ever had the chance to own myself, I had a Parkour Visions tank top that got torn to shreds. I had a Team Fairang stealth hoodie, which was my favorite freaking hoodie. It was like lightweight but durable. And
Did it have that little ninja fringe thing? Where it was like poofy at the neck?
oh no, not that.
Okay, I'm just trying to figure out which one it is.
It was like a flowy black hoodie, like
Right.
super lightweight material but very durable. I loved wearing it in the summer because even though it was black, I felt like cool while I was wearing it. Not like cool, like you're a cool guy, but like cooled off, you know?
Cool guy, you're a cool guy.
And then the Star Wars shoes that you were so kind to bless me with.
We them boys.
We them boys. Boyos.
That's probably the title of the podcast. I'm just be like, we them boys.
We
Featuring
them-
Grizz.
Grizz them boys.
For the TPC podcast, he actually is a guest, I guess. But he is TPC.
Yeah, this is a TPC team member. All right.
Main member. We almost have a flow team going at this point, too, though. That's the funny part.
We're
We
getting
almost
there.
have a little flow team. Well, Troy shows up sometimes. So, like, we just need like 2 or 3 more that show up every once in a while.
All right.
Hannah's been looking into getting into it, too. Caleb's lady.
Yeah, you guys were talking about inspiration and stuff like that, about store farang and stuff.
Let's hear it.
I was a video game nerd, so
Yeah.
Oh.
the video that a lot of parkour people constantly rip on a bunch, the Assassin's Creed parkour video that's absolutely
That's exactly
Kind of.
what got me to start.
kind of weirdly bad, but kind of okay.
I'm gonna pull up one right now while we're
But
talking.
anyway, just those kind of made me try to figure out what it was originally.
Exactly.
And I ended up watching a lot of videos that little kid me probably shouldn't have. Also known as breaking into this building to do parkour on the roof, or finding my way through, or there's a giant, there's a huge slide somewhere in Europe that this guy was like, I wanted to do parkour on this slide. And to do it, it was almost, he had to, middle of the night, climbed up through it, over things and stuff like that. And it was really funny to me. Because little kid me was like, but I want to do that. Because I was also part of the urban explorers on the internet. That's kind of what I would have loved to have done. I loved urban exploring and things like that. So going to buildings that probably should never be entered by a human being not wearing a
Ever
full
again,
hazmat
yeah.
suit.
Don't go into here. Pretty
Yeah,
much.
probably shouldn't be.
Chernobyl parkour.
No, yeah, stuff like that where it's like this mall hasn't been opened in 700 years. It's got nails sticking out of the floor in random places and all kinds of crazy stuff. But yeah,
I do want to find some abandoned buildings in Washington
I
that
would
we
love.
can go to.
We just they're just all so boring.
I want to go to one that's amazing that I really want to visit and do like some parkour and some like videos.
You're in the
and
middle of the woods.
Wait. The Olympia Brewing Company.
Okay.
They've got a massive closed brewery down in Olympia that they do have like security there to keep people out, but like it's an amazing looking spot.
Yeah.
And I've driven by it. I walked the nature trail that went by it, but I was basically told that if I go do that, I either have to go with the boys or by myself.
That
Cause
sounds like the options, I'll be honest.
yeah,
Those are the options, I'm pretty sure.
because
Narrow it down, yeah.
my family wouldn't let me.
Yeah, they wouldn't
Basically.
travel.
Well, no,
But-
we were already there,
Oh.
and I was told no.
Ah. But yeah, like that. These kinds of videos kind of they get ripped on a lot because they
Remember,
really.
we're on a podcast. You got to
Yeah.
tell them what we're watching.
We're watching. What was it? Something? Can't never remember the name.
Devin Supertramp.
Yeah, Devin Supertramp. One of their the 4-person parkour video where they're chasing the redcoats through current Britain, but
Looks like the Brighton roofs.
yeah, they get
actually.
Or France.
It's France because this is Assassin's Creed Unity, not to be a nerd or anything.
See, I'm smiling because that's basically his story too.
Yeah,
But it's probably different Assassin's Creed games.
these videos get ripped on a lot because they're goofy, and a lot of times the parkour isn't the most interesting.
Are you kidding? Look at that.
They can't. No, I'm saying most of the times, like a lot of the ones that not by Devin Supertramp because he actually just is good. But there are a lot out there that are not the most interesting, and a lot of the Devin Supertramp ones
the editing
were
isn't
coming
even
out
good either. Like,
yeah, they came out kind of relatively after I had already started looking into parkour a bunch. But, so it becomes this ripped on thing of goofiness. They have interest to them, and they kind of did introduce a lot of people to the video game nerds of the internet into this, but a lot of them didn't follow suit in actually learning how to do any of it because, well, video game nerds aren't known for their athletic abilities very much.
That's why I make fun of ourselves. Like, sometimes you almost have to take the joke away from them to show them that actually we're serious. Like, we get what you see and maybe how you think you feel, but like, guess what? We're making fun of you making fun of us. So. Yeah. You should probably just try to appreciate. But
like the Office meme?
Yeah.
I kind of understood parkour the second I saw it. I saw it like 10 years ago, just wasn't interested necessarily in doing it. I almost felt like...
I don't know if...
It was all flips because I fall into that, unfortunately. Yeah. A lot of people do. Mm. Watch the store video. They did something crazy I probably didn't think I would ever do. Probably would now. But...
I don't know if Jared heard it last time we were doing parkour over at the waterfront.
Probably not.
There was an old couple walking by, and I was ignoring them, except for you were doing a plyo or something, and out of nowhere I just hear, parkour. And I turn around, and it's the old lady that's like 75 with her hands in front of her, like really, and then just kept walking.
Some people appreciate it.
That was really funny.
Come say hi if you see us. If you're hearing this somehow and you see us, just say hi. Don't call security on us, though. And if you do, don't tell us you did, because that happened for me and Caleb one time. It had to be her, because someone walked up to us when we were training at Dickman's Mill and straight up told us on the walkie-talkie they said security was called. But why is this random person on the security line? Unless they called it because they're on the security line. It's like, what?
Like, if you're gonna call security on somebody training parkour, I really think you should at least, to make it an easier transition for both parties, introduce yourself. Treat us like we're human beings. Say hi.
Right, we just left. We ended up just leaving anyways.
Like, we're people. All you have to do is say hi. We'll let you know exactly what's going on. And if there's a problem, we're going to leave. We don't want to get caught up in any drama or BS. Like, we live in Tacoma. We know what goes on. We don't want any part of that.
Yeah.
Plus the whole liability thing. I'm 32 years old. It would take more effort to sue than it would be worth it. I've talked to every one of my family members. Suing is bad for the sport, even if it happens. Don't do that. It's not what I want. Don't put my life in vain for your own selfish gain. I'm putting on for the city right now, for all of us.
Insane in the membrane.
It's about the sport, and it gets this bad reputation. We're gonna have to get a bunch of parks built, and it's not that I don't want that, because I do. But most likely outdoor parks aren't gonna be covered anyway, so it's gonna be the exact same as the streets.
Well, I think that this is a good place for us to start to wind down. Do you guys have any closing thoughts?
As in what? Do you mean by just closing thoughts?
Anything else you're thinking about talking related to anything we talked about?
I think a lot of people watch specifically like Store and Team Farang and all of the majors and forget that they didn't start this way.
Yeah, you see people who've been training like 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
You gotta understand, nobody their first day is gonna go, I'm gonna go do a roof gap.
Yeah, like even Store, a lot of them were were flip nerds way before they were parkour nerds.
Well, Callum was a rollerblader.
They all had some other they had another grime to them before they were parkour nerds, because they jumped in like in the beginning because they were a bunch of teenagers in Britain.
Sasha's just gaming in the background.
Well,
He's flying the drone.
Yeah, he's vibing.
But he's flying the drone actually.
Yeah.
But every spot since day one, they don't just see a jump and just go into it. There's a lot of preparation that goes into everything. They don't show all of it because outsiders won't get it and they might tune off. And we always want to show the sport the best way we know how.
My opinion, a lot of times what you're seeing is someone that's got this down for like 30 minutes. If you're watching in the background of a lot of story videos, you'll see someone doing something that just doesn't make sense, and that's normally means they're going to be doing something later in the video that's going to be way more interesting.
You're actually you're watching the prep in the background and don't even know.
Yeah, because there's a lot of videos out there where it's just some guy doing a flip off of a random wall in the background. It's like, oh, I wonder why he's doing that. Later in the video, he does the same flip, but off of something 6 times taller. It's because he's practicing on some random spot, which also is a very important thing to do for anyone that is, wanting to get into the sport. You have to don't immediately go for the 7-foot gap.
You have to make sure you're ready.
Yeah, you have to make sure you can either make the gap or figure out what that is. And I try to make sure some of us do that. Caleb specifically, because a lot of times he'll sit there going, I don't know if I can do this, or he gets wigged out on something. And a lot of times all it takes is finding something that's similar enough to where he actually can just send it.
Almost every time, really.
Yeah, he sends it, and then he goes, oh wait, I can just do this easily. Because that's all it is a lot of times you're just so wigged out by whatever it is that it becomes more of a mental thing than it ever was a physical thing.
Right.
Like what they're doing currently on the story video we were currently watching. Most human beings probably could do it, maybe not in the same way they do it at all, but most people probably could get down this. A lot of it is just they all do it different ways and they all do it different styles, but they all have practice in those very specific things. They all do it the different ways because that's what they're good at. And
right, Toby's a calm guy because he got longer arms. You lean into your strengths a little bit at least. You want to be balanced, obviously. It's better to be balanced. It makes everything easier to line up. Bless you.
Thank you. I thought I was gonna die.
But there's a few videos I've watched of all kinds of different parkour artists where they're going back to old parkour spots they've gone to, and they show a clip of their old parkour video, and then
right now.
Yeah, I think that just is him.
Oh, this is an advertisement. Actually.
I'll say this is an ad.
That's why we need to make clothes.
But anyway,
I could film this. We could film stuff like this.
But it's a video of them going back, and a lot of times they do something entirely different than they would have previously. Like, there's some people that did flips a lot more when they were younger, or they did more flips now, or they do all kinds of interesting things.
Or a certain Sacky Packy who exploded his leg on a water challenge and was out for 2 years. His style changed. He's still the 360 guy, but he used to be the most technical store there was. He would roll and flip out of everything. Everything was perfect. It was clean.
Yeah.
He's still like that, but he's not as droppy and less attempts in him now. But I get why. Breaking your leg's probably crazy, right?
It's pretty insane. It will change your whole perspective on kind of life, honestly. Like, breaking my leg actually ruined my life for a while.
Yeah, I hope staying in shape is like enough to function is one of my goals for growing old. The older I get,
Yep.
I believe if you don't use it, you'll lose it, kind of thing. That's what most things in life are, especially skills and certain types of training. It's not a skill itself necessarily, but you know what I mean. Be at a certain level. My dad stopped being able to exercise with me in his mid-30s, and I was so disappointed. I'm not disappointed in him, but it was so sad when I figured it out. Like, dang, he just can't run like he used to. That sucks. I don't want that for myself.
Yeah.
For real. what I've seen as far as like stuff like that goes is many people say that parkour is dangerous and like, oh my god, you're probably gonna die or break something. It's no more dangerous than any other sport. And what's funny is actually the more you train parkour, the more likely you are to live longer, because you start to prepare your body for dangerous situations and dealing with fear.
Being uncomfortable, yeah.
Being uncomfortable. So, like, when you need to get away from somebody who's dangerous and acting erratic.
Erratic. Okay.
One of the easiest ways to get away from that person would be to put as many obstacles between you and them as possible. Or there's so many situations, and they're all situational, so I could just keep going on this. But
no, yeah.
We said we were going to close out a while ago. I think that I'm pretty over it for today.
Yeah, I don't got anything else I gotta say much.
Yeah, but tell them who you are, where they can find you once more.
I am Grissom. I go by Blaze Cloak on YouTube. I also go by Grizz on the TPC channel. So if you ever see a YouTube video that on the TPC that says featuring Grizz or something like that, it's probably me.
He's also the one I do a lot of POV projects with. I want to get a lot of the other guys in on it. It's all about having the timing. 'Cause when I see the line, it makes more sense in the moment. But when I just say show up to a spot, it's harder for people that aren't used to it to understand what I mean. But what he does on he also likes to live stream chat his walks home from work. So if you're ever looking to chat around 10 o'clock certain days,
yeah,
he's your man.
Normally 9, 10, sometimes all the way up to like 11 at night.
PM Pacific time.
PM Pacific time, always.
West Coast.
Yes.
West Coast, Best Coast.
But yeah, and then pretty sure that's it. I have a TikTok and stuff like that, but you can find that through my YouTube and things like that. If anything isn't linked, which I'm pretty sure everything that needs to be linked is to my YouTube currently. If it's not, I will fix that later. When someone goes, "Where's this?" Fix that. But yeah, I do mostly shorts for a lot of my videos. There's a lot of clips in major TPC videos that have some version of my shorts, but a lot of times my short is its own separate section of a video, because I'm just doing it for the short mostly. And my shorts are actually posted when we're training. So if my short ever goes out and you end up looking at it and going, "Hey, I'm near that location, come say hi," because normally we're still there by the time.
Might still be there, yeah. You post it live.
I post it pretty much as we're there, and normally try to get it posted before we're leaving, or at least before we're going home.
Right.
How about you, Jared? Where can we find you?
Jaraldinh0 on Instagram. You can look at old Pokemon Go videos and other gaming stuff on there too, but I don't post too much there. Also, Tacoma Parkour. I'm the editor and stuff for that. I don't even want to say much more than that. It's how we run this, do the back end stuff a lot of the filming. You know.
Yep. And you can find me at tylorvgwin on almost every social media platform, or you can find my gaming stuff at wrath253, again, on almost every social media platform. I would like to think that I'm one of the most social media active members.
Probably.
Because I'm on every platform. I have multiple accounts on every platform, and I post super consistently. So come find me.
Right. I mostly just post on YouTube. I'm a YouTube nerd. I have way too much knowledge about this specific platform. Yeah. It's hard to... I'd almost be wasting it. We wasted 20 years of knowledge.
My thing is, I just don't like the environment most social medias perform at.
That's freaking fair.
I've never done social medias really. The only time I ever did was to post a video that someone asked me to post of them. Like, hey, we took a picture. Do you mind posting it so I can save it or so I can show it to people? So I'm like, okay.
What made me get into it is I saw another sign spinner go viral, and I'm not gonna lie, I did not like that sign spinner. I was like, bro, I do things that
I can do that better.
No, I was like, I do things every day that are way crazier than this. Why is this guy popping off and I'm not? So I went off.
I bet they think that about us, except when they see Caleb go, to be honest. But now that more of the people around here are getting to know me and Caleb, they're gonna get to know y'all eventually. But we talked to a lot of people at the contest.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call it contest because that's just the word I like better. But the competition, contest, same thing.
The thing.
I prefer jams.
And they realize we're all just good people, just in it for whatever we're in it for. The fact that we're in it at all is really the thing that matters.
That's what brings us all together.
I'm more of a creative. We need more creatives. I'm also looking into getting into studying sports medicine because, again, Giles has mentioned that'd be cool if someone in the community did sports medicine at least 5 different times on the podcast.
I kind of do. I'm a personal trainer. One of my areas of expertise is corrective exercise. So
I'm trying to get a FUD though, cuh.
Yeah.
A FUD.
All right, let's close it out. Thanks for listening, Spotify. You guys are awesome. Love the support we've seen so far. I think our last episode got at least 6 listens, which is great considering we're just starting out.
Yeah.
The fact that we got 1. Thank you guys. You're awesome. YouTube, keep
doing decent on YouTube too. Doing decent. A lot of the podcast episodes are getting more views than the long edits. The shorts are popping off though. The shorts are going crazy.
Oh no, yeah, the shorts are fun.
I even stay up till midnight at least lately, even when I'm tired, just to make sure I put something up.
Some of my shorts are actually doing pretty good too, which is actually pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
Being able to see that someone is out there enjoying.
I still tend to do the best on TikTok.
My only thing about TikTok is, one, the TikTok account I want to use has the max amount of followers. It has the max amount of people you can follow.
Oh, I've been there.
Yeah. And I don't want to take the time to unfollow a bunch of people.
So it's worth it.
It might be, but no.
I'm telling you, it's so worth it.
It's so many D&D people I follow, and like everyone I follow is for normally a reason. And so it's like I don't want to start unfollowing just a bunch of people.
I get that. I
actually
am
have
the
more
kind of person
than I have subscribers on TikTok.
I follow. I mostly follow athletes and people in the athletic space or parkour or flow arts. I hit 10,000 followers, like people I follow on TikTok, and they wouldn't let me follow anymore. But people
still think is dumb.
People were following me and were requesting that I follow back, or like I would meet somebody in real life and they'd be like, "I'll follow you, but you got to follow me back." And like they're like a friend, and I was like,
totally.
"Absolutely!" And then I'd have to unfollow somebody, so I went back and I unfollowed like 3,000 people. And here's my criteria. This is what I used. Do I really resonate with this person's content, or do I know this person in real life?
Yeah.
And if the answer was no to both of those, I hit unfollow on tons of people.
Not a short form media guy, if I'm telling you the truth.
No. All right.
I'm more of a journey guy.
We're getting out though. Thanks for watching. You guys are awesome.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, and hope y'all have a great rest of y'all's night.
But now I gotta say our names and say bye. Actually, say it one more time.
All right. This is Tyler
and Jared
and Grissom,
and you are listening to Tacoma Parkour Collective. Have a good day.
You go to the bathroom? Yeah. Okay, you're good.
You said an hour, so we almost stuck it. Almost did that perfect.
I said it.
No, he said he had like an hour on his phone to record, and I was like, I saw the minute mark, and I was like,
It'll be fun. We actually topped though, so it's not like several minutes of silence. So
No, yeah, it was a lot of.
it's a good hour, to be honest.
The only
I
silence
hate that I have to touch the back screen to get the front screen to turn
Yeah, the only silence we really had was watching the video.
Yeah,
we would start talking about the video, so we would all start watching the video and not talk because we're watching the video, or like, and then someone would finally go, "Yeah, that was cool." And we're like, "Oh yeah, we have to speak."
Yeah.
But it was a pretty good amount of conversations.
Yeah, for sure. I'm posting it as is. I don't do any editing post.
Oh, remember, my shorts are literally minute of, not even this whole button.
Well, 15 seconds or a minute, yeah.
Yeah, I can. You don't gotta do all that.
I think you can do
That's my
3 minutes now,
responsibility.
too, but...
No, I meant more like at literal minute of, like we posted it minute of.
Oh, yeah, live.
I normally I've gotten away from that for myself. I will record, and I'll even do multiple takes of a short. So, but
Yeah.
I also do like song requests. So I'll like somebody will comment a song for me to sign spin to, and I'll listen to that song, and then I'll record the routine or choreography that I want to do like 5 or 6 times before I ever will.
No, yeah, I get that.
Post it.
I've watched some of the vids, but my thing is just I like the idea that if we get a bunch of people doing parkour in Tacoma,
We're getting there.
that's what I'm saying. If we do, I like the idea that even if we don't reach out to somebody like Caleb or someone and they realize they're in Tacoma and they see my video pop up, they can come and do parkour. Where they're just like, oh shit, they're out. Let's go do.
They
let's
don't
go do
even
stuff
need us for that.
For the record, for YouTube to know, we are at 16 total listens. And you guys have listened to a total of 4 hours of our podcast on Spotify. For us to get monetized on Spotify, we do need to get...
Isn't it like 10,000 listens or something?
No, it's 100 listens in 30 days.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
So if we can get... And it doesn't matter which episode you listen to. If you go onto Spotify, you find Tacoma Parkour Collective, and you listen to any of our episodes for any length of time, we need 100 people to listen for in 30 days.
I'm pretty sure it needs to be different people, I think.
Yes, definitely different people.
Because I don't think it counts the same person twice.
Right now, we're at 2 in the last 30 days.
Yeah.
So hopefully this episode will probably spike that a little bit. We'll have to see where we're at the end, or like in a couple weeks when we reconvene. But for now, I'm just posting this as is.
Also, just because this is a podcast episode, one day you guys will see tomorrow, which is going to be his class, which is going to be, I'm pretty sure a lot of us are going to be able to make it to tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure all of us
doing that
might be
tomorrow,
able
yeah?
to do it. Your
Yeah.
class
My
I'm pretty sure
parkour class.
I'm pretty sure all of us can make it tomorrow.
I should be able to make it.
I think Caleb said he was going to too.
Not this week.
I'm gonna title this "Introducing Grizz."
Which the water one did way better than I was expecting it to.
It's about the title. It's fully about the title.
A little bit of water parkour on the side is all it's called.
I just try to make the thumbnail almost relate to the title, but the only thing that I've noticed matters is time I post and the title. People are used to wacky thumbnails, meaning
Average
not
percent
something-
viewed was 90. It was 90%.
That's pretty
Most
good.
people watching 90% of that entire video.
If you don't watch enough to watch, it's a pretty good accidental loop. It's pretty close to the.
No, yeah,
perfect
it's pretty
loop,
close.
if
It's
you
a
will.
pretty close loop.
All right,
I was pretty happy with how it turned out.
Probably gotta end this.
Yeah, use the whole memory card.
I got one of the 256ers in here. There's still 5 hours, 40 minutes.